This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Thousands of people are in the Circle City for Gen Con. We are live this morning with what you can expect before you head downtown for North America's largest gaming convention.
Plus, the Call 6 investigation has lawmakers sounding off on your child's safety during severe weather. What they say needs to be done to protect your student.
And new interstate closures will soon impact drivers in Indianapolis, where you can expect the construction barrels to go up. It is 5 o'clock on your Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. It seems as though there's nowhere without construction barrels right now. We are in the heart of construction season. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey, and Todd Clausen is with us to talk about the weather. And the good thing for all this construction is it's dry, Todd.
Yeah, you know, they've been able to work nonstop basically here with just a couple little speed bumps with some rain. We had that rain on Monday, but since then it's been dry, and we're expecting dry conditions here throughout the day today for the most part. I'll show you one little opportunity for some rainfall later on, but it's for a very, very, very small percentage of us. 63 degrees right now in the city. Look at these temperatures once again, really, really comfortable as we kick off the month of August. 55 in Crawfordsville, 58 in Greencastle, Tipton at 59 degrees, 63 as you make your way down into Greencastle. So the skies are mainly clear, just a few high thin clouds out there, and that is just about it. You notice a few very spotty showers here in Illinois. There's just a little trough or area of disturbance off to our east, and it's not out of the question the peak heating of the day. Extreme eastern Indiana could pick up a quick passing shower, but other than that, it will be mostly sunny. The humidity is still low throughout the day today. Temperatures get up to about 78 by the noon hour, with our high getting up to 83 degrees, which is right on track for where we should be this time of year. The time now is 5:01. Let's get another look at the roadways here this morning. Here's Lauren.
Hey, Todd, thank you so much. Right now, no crashes around the metro area to slow you down, so that is great news. Let's take a look at some drive times, though. If you're in Hamilton County heading southbound on I-69, just a quick 4-minute commute from 116th Street in Fishers to the ramps at I-465. No delays there. So let's take a live look right now up in Hamilton County. I-465 a little east of, this is down the south side. I-465 a little east of State Road 37. You can see this is part of the detour route for I-70. Traffic there is moving along up to speed, so the detour route not backed up at this hour, but of course we'll continue to keep an eye on it and keep you updated. But first, I want to get us some breaking news from overnight. A woman is in the hospital, and police are looking for a suspect after a shooting on the far northeast side. This all happened around 1:30 this morning in a neighborhood at East 33rd Street and Midhofer Road. We're told that a couple was flagged down by someone they knew who told them that a woman had been shot several times. Police say she was taken to Eskenazi Hospital for treatment. Witnesses told officers that the suspect was last seen driving northbound on Midhofer.
Game on. Game on. Gen Con is back in Indy. It's deemed as the largest and longest running tabletop gaming event in the country. And our Aaron Lish is live at the Indiana Convention Center with what you can expect over the next 4 days. And Aaron, I understand tens of thousands of people are going to be at this event.
That's right. We're
Where is she?
The cards here we have. Yeah, so there are thousands of people here. About 65,000 came here last year. We have Stacia Kirby here with us this morning from Gen Con. You know, we're talking about how many people are here, but they're not just from Indy either.
Oh, no. They're from every state in the country and like 50 countries around, you know, the whole world. So this is really an international event.
We had actually people walking by us this morning. They're going to get their badges right now. How long have you guys been doing this?
We've been in Indianapolis since 2003, and Gen Con is celebrating its 52nd year this year.
So what do people need to know when they do come here starting today?
Well, definitely wear comfortable shoes, bring water. There's just so much to see. Lots of walking. We have more exhibitors than ever. There's more gaming events going on than ever. So lots of stuff going on at Georgia Street, obviously all the stuff going on in the exhibit hall. So just a whole lot to see, but dress comfortably.
And I know some of the badges are already sold out. Where do people go to actually buy those badges?
You can come here to the convention center and buy what's left. The 4-day badges and the Saturday badges are sold out, but we still have badges for Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
It is a crazy, fun event. We're going to have a little bit more in the next half hour. We're also going to talk a little bit more about Card Holla, but we'll send it back to you guys in the studio for now, Lauren.
All right, Aaron, looking forward to that. Well, a Call 6 investigation into your child's safety in the classroom is prompting reaction from the State House. Our Kara Kenny found Indiana has no requirements in place to have tornado shelters in schools. Well, we found several other states with rules requiring shelters in newly constructed schools, including Illinois, Ohio, and Michigan. Adding a tornado shelter to a new building adds about 5% of the cost of the school. It also offers a lot more protection for students than just hunkering down in a hallway. Representative Randy Fry from Greensburg is on the House Public Safety Committee. He says lawmakers should have a conversation about tornado shelters in schools. Call 6 Investigates found federal funding is available to build these shelters, but most schools don't apply for the money.
I think it's something we need to look into, and I think it's also that we need to promote the fact that there are federal grant dollars out there for this, and schools can take advantage of it even without changing the code.
Fry says requiring schools to include storm shelters in newly constructed schools will cost money, so they need to figure out who will pay for it. He plans to reach out to the Indiana Department of Homeland Security for their input, as well as Salem schools. As we showed you in our investigation, Salem built a tornado safe room for a Breade Shrum Elementary School using federal grants.
A 19-year-old Bloomington man is accused of killing his girlfriend's 2-month-old baby in a fit of rage. Police arrested Dakota King after the baby arrived at IU Health Bloomington Hospital and died a short time later. Police say the baby had visible facial injuries. King later admitted he became angry with the baby because the child would not stop crying. He says he pushed the baby's head into a pillow in the bassinet to stop the crying.
At 5:06, everything is back to normal this morning at a naval support activity at Crane in southern Indiana. The installation was ordered to shelter in place after an unidentified device was found in the cafeteria of the pyrotechnics facility. The device was removed and taken in for testing. The Crane spokesperson says this isn't unusual at the facility due to its age and the type of work that's performed there. An all clear sign was given about an hour after that device was found.
The United States federal court is warning residents someone is spoofing their phone number. Last week, people started reporting they'd been contacted by someone claiming to be with the court. The caller claims your Social Security benefits have been hacked or you're under investigation for prostitution. If you might be a victim of the scam, you're urged to report it to the district court clerk's office at 317-229-3700. We also have this information for you on the RTV6 app.
It's 5:07. A new food choice is coming to Hamilton County. Carmel is set to host Indiana's first Wahlburgers restaurant. The casual dining burger place and bar will be part of a development at Carmel Drive and Rangeline Road. It is set to open sometime next year. Actors Donnie and Mark Wahlberg and their brother, executive chef Paul Wahlberg, founded the restaurant. There are 25 Wahlburger restaurants all across the country. Sounds pretty good. All right, there is another major interstate closure to pay attention to.
Are we going to have any roads to drive on soon,
Yeah.
Lauren? Well, I-465 eastbound and northbound on the southeast side of the city are going to be closed for 15 days beginning August 9th. This closure stretches from I-65 to I-70 and will mostly impact Beech Grove drivers. Again, that begins August 9th and will go until August 24th. Now, after Labor Day, the Indiana Department of Transportation will close the same stretch of highway going in the opposite direction. That will last until September 21st. Now, we know that is a lot of information to take in, and you can find all of the latest roadwork closures on the RTV6 app right now.
At 5:08, a nonprofit organization that serves senior citizens is one step closer to getting a precious commodity back. Earlier this month, police recovered a wheelchair-accessible van stolen from Johnson County Senior Services after RTV6 reported on the theft. Now, the van is used to take people to life-saving medical appointments. This week, More Restoration cleaned it for free.
For us as a not-for-profit, people literally die if we can't get them to life-saving treatment. So this is a priceless gift that they're giving us today.
The cost of doing this and because of where it's going with the seniors, it was something our owner felt he wanted to get involved in and donate our time and get involved.
Well, the van will still be out of service for a while because it needs a new key system. Investigators believe someone had been living in the van and still has the keys.
An Eastside neighborhood is cleaner and safer this morning thanks to a team effort. City representatives, community groups, and volunteers worked together to beautify the Tuxedo Park area. They picked up trash and illegally dumped materials. City officials say the effort is a great way for them to hear from neighbors.
It just allows us to be out in the community, for us to meet with residents, hear from them of issues that they're facing, issues that are affecting them, that are adversely affecting their quality of life, and looking at different ways that we can improve.
The event was part of an ongoing initiative called It's My City.
At 5:09, the Indiana State Fair kicks off its 17-day run tomorrow, which also happens to be RTV6 Day at the fair. RTV6 will be live from the fair throughout the day, starting here on Good Morning Indiana. Such a cute little piggy. We'll bring you the sights and sounds of opening day in real time, which includes Band Day. Just join us for all the fun. Again, that's on Friday. The State Fair runs until August 18th. And Todd, we got pretty lucky because we're going to be out there at the fair, and we wanted good weather, and we're going to get it.
Yeah, I think last year we had great weather as the fair opened as well. Well, this whole entire opening weekend is going to be great for the State Fair, so if that's in your plans, it'll be warm in the 80s, but you don't have to worry about any rainfall. That is the good news. Now, this morning, nice and comfortable out there. Temperatures will be in the 60s here throughout the morning hours in the city. Cooler in the outlying areas where temperatures already are in the 50s, so it's a nice, pleasant start to our day. And once again, skies are mainly clear. There's a few high, thin clouds out there working their way from north to south, just to the west of Indianapolis. But highs today, very similar to yesterday, with the low humidity going into the low to mid 80s across the area. About 82 to the north up in the Kokomo area, about 84 in and around the metro area, 85 as you make your way down into Columbus. So another pleasant day for us. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. If you're counting on a check from the Equifax data breach, you may not get it. Just after the break, what the Federal Trade Commission says you should do instead.
Plus, an infant sleeper is being recalled this morning. Straight ahead, which models are impacted and what you should do if you have one.
And right now we want to take a look at your traffic here in Castleton. I-69 at 82nd Street. Traffic here is traveling smoothly both northbound and southbound. We'll keep an eye out for any crashes or delays. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Airing Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Welcome back. The Federal Trade Commission says so many people are asking for cash payments linked to the 2017 Equifax data breach. There may not be enough money for everyone. As part of a $300 million settlement announced last Monday, those impacted by the data breach were offered free credit monitoring or a check for up to $125. But the fund dedicated to cash payouts only has $31 million. The FTC says the response has been so overwhelming, some people who are eligible may not get the full $125. The FTC is suggesting people choose free credit monitoring rather than the check. I'd rather have the money.
Right. It is 5:15. New this morning, gamers are often victims of harassment, according to the Anti-Defamation League. The ADL says nearly 74% of adults playing multiplayer games have experienced harassment in some form. Popular online games in the study include World of Warcraft, Minecraft, and Fortnite. Some players say they've been bullied and targeted for their identity, including remarks about players' race and sexuality. The ADL says it didn't only find bad news. The 88% of the gamers report positive experiences while playing games online, including helping others and making friends.
A bill now in the Senate aims to fight social media addiction. The Social Media Addiction Reduction Technology Act was introduced earlier this week. It would ban practices frequently used by top social networking sites to keep users engaged, like YouTube's autoplay or Snapchat's Snap Streaks. The bill gives social media companies 3 months to end the practices. It would also require the creation of time limit setting features. The measure joins a string of bills introduced in recent months targeting Silicon Valley.
The organizers of the Woodstock 50 Festival have thrown in the towel and canceled that event. Co-founder Michael Lang said in a statement, quote, "Unforeseen setbacks made it impossible to put on the festival we imagined." Well, this was scheduled to take place on August 16th through the 18th on the 50th anniversary of the original Woodstock Festival in 1969. But the firm financing it pulled out in April, and organizers had difficulty securing a site for that event. We don't want another fire festival on our hands, so it's probably good that they just went ahead and canceled it. All right, Todd, let's get a look at the forecast today. Great news in that.
Yeah, and it's going to be a beautiful night for any concerts here across central Indiana. I saw some awesome sunset pictures from the lawn at White River State Park on social media that people had posted from the Blues Travelers concert last night. So that weather headlines again today, mild temperatures, very seasonable with low humidity and sunshine in the forecast. We're starting you off here this morning with very nice weather as well. 63 degrees, that's the current temperature. The wind is out of the north. That's a nice, cool, refreshing wind direction. It's not all that strong, the wind speeds, but it's more the direction that's the player in the forecast this morning. The dew point's in the mid-50s. That's a comfortable place to be as well. And look at some of these temperatures. Several mornings here. In fact, this is the most 50s I think I've seen the end of July and beginning of August now in quite some time. 54 in Crawfordsville, 57 in Greencastle, 59 in Tipton, 62 in Richmond. And we don't have the humidity, so it's not a very muggy overnight period, so it's great sleeping weather. Some high thin clouds off to the west and to the southwest of Indianapolis this morning. Nothing really to worry about there. You do notice a few isolated showers near the Columbus, Ohio area. It's not out of the question today. Extreme eastern and southeastern areas. We're probably talking Richmond down towards Brookville and points to the east. So not many of us will have the potential for maybe a quick passing shower flaring up, but 99.9% of us remain completely dry today with mostly sunny skies. Upper 60s at 9 a.m., 75 degrees by the time we get to 11 a.m. And then we're pushing the 80-degree mark as we head into the 2-3 o'clock hour. And then high temperatures today should top off right around 83 degrees. So it's going to be a beautiful day for us and just as nice of an evening if you have plans. Sunset this evening is at 8:58 p.m. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s with skies that'll be mainly clear to partly cloudy across the area. Tomorrow morning, we do it all over again. This is what I was mentioning. Numerous days here that at the end of July and into August, we've had temperatures in the 50s. 59 in Lafayette tonight, about 63 degrees the overnight low in Indianapolis. Tomorrow, RTV6 day at the fair, opening day at the Indiana State Fair. They couldn't ask for a better day. Not too humid. Temperatures very similar to today, starting off in the 70s as the gates open. Then we'll be climbing up into the mid-80s throughout the course of the afternoon hours. And your weekend forecast brings the humidity up a little bit as the temperatures climb as well, with highs in the mid-80s. So it's a very dry forecast here. You'll need to water your lawn and your plants as no rain is expected in our forecast until Wednesday as a few spotty storms start to build in.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now near the airport. This is I-70 west of the airport ramp, so you can see traffic's moving smoothly, and we may have a busier time over here as all those folks are coming into town for Gen Con today, so just give yourself that extra time. I-70, a reminder, is closed as you get to I-465, so heads up to that. Let's take a look, though, at our map. The good news right now on the roads, no crashes, no major delays out there, so let's take a look at some drive times. On the west side, I-74 traveling eastbound from State Road 267 through Brownsburg here to I-465, just a 7-minute commute. And then on the northwest side, traveling through the Dog Leg, starting at I-865, heading down to I-70 at the North Split, a 17-minute drive. Traffic there is moving along up to speed, so let's take a look at it. This is I-65 at 30th Street to our north. You can see traffic there is moving along up to speed. We have some orange barrels there in the shoulder of the road, so just use caution as you're heading out.
We're working for you with a recall alert this morning. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has issued a recall for certain inclined infant sleepers. The recalls involve the Eddie Bauer Slumber and Soothe bassinet and the Disney Baby Doze and Dream bassinet. The sleepers were sold at several stores nationwide between November 2014 through February 2017. The group says no injuries have been reported, but similar products have resulted in infant deaths. People who own the sleeper should stop using it and contact the manufacturer for a refund.
At 5:20, many American seniors are apparently abusing alcohol. A new study finds that 1 in 10 older adults report binge drinking. Researchers say this population is prone to other age-related issues. Binge drinking is particularly dangerous, like things like an increased falling or alcohol interacting through medication are possible. The study also found that among adults 65 years and older, men and people who use pot are more likely to binge drink.
A Washington neighborhood is being overran by goats. After the break, why officials say it took them hours to round them back up. I wonder why, Lauren. That's a lot of goats there. We'll be right back.
Tuition free in Indiana.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time right now is 5:24. Here's a live look to our northwest, I-465 and West 86th Street. Traffic here is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. No delays, no crashes here to slow you down.
It's not uncommon to be greeted by flight attendants when you board a plane, but they're usually standing in the aisle. But not from this flight from Nashville. Passengers on a Southwest flight were surprised to be greeted by a flight attendant hanging out in the overhead luggage bin. They say she was in there for about 5 minutes and didn't get down until more than half the airplane was boarded. Next time you wonder if an overhead bin will hold your luggage, remember, probably so. If it's smaller than that flight attendant, that is.
Those are always bigger than you think they're going to be, too.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, a Washington State Homeowners Association has some explaining to do after this effort to keep the neighborhood looking well got overrun. Take a look here. Dozens of goats flooded the community near Seattle on Wednesday. The animals got out of their enclosure and ended up in the neighborhood streets. The goats are used to nibble away at the weeds and vegetation between the homes. And, hey, they're taking that job pretty seriously. Even a herding dog couldn't get them back into their pen. That task took several hours and a lot of help from the community groups. Oh, my goodness.
The herding dog's like,
he's like,
guys, no.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Todd, you know a thing or two about goats?
Yeah, goats and sheep. Now I know about llamas, which we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I went up to Mark Smith Farms in Crawfordsville, so llamas, very useful animals, but I don't think the neighbors probably had to mow their grass.
No,
for a while,
Those goats saw that green grass and
and
were like, ooh, yeah.
And I can't imagine what it was like hearing that and maybe peeking out your window and seeing that sea of goats. Oh my goodness, so funny.
All right, outside right now we're dealing with comfortable temperatures. We're in the 50s and 60s across the area. We'll be in the 80s later on this afternoon. It's another great day with mostly sunny skies, low humidity, 86 degrees for Friday. And then as we climb into Saturday and Sunday, the humidity comes up a little bit, but it's not all that bad, and the overnight hours are pretty comfortable as well. Highs right around 87 degrees. The next chance of rain does not arrive in this forecast until Wednesday.
Todd, thank you. A woman is recovering after a shooting on the city's far northeast side. Ahead at 5:30, what police say led up to that gunfire.
RTV6 is working for you.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, breaking news from overnight. Gunfire on the far northeast side.
We'll show you how this scene unfolded and what police know so far. Also this morning, a business closes and the owner says it's because of road construction.
Yeah, coming up, we're going to show you how this isn't the first time a business has closed because of this road work. But first, here on our Thursday, we need to talk about the weather.
Yeah, because it's going to be another fabulous day, a great day to get outside. And hopefully if the kids aren't back in school quite yet, Todd, they'll get a chance to enjoy it.
Yeah, hopefully. You need to get outside. It's very similar to yesterday. Yesterday, a lot of people were walking around and they were talking about how comfortable it was with the low humidity. Today, it's going to be the same exact way. Starting off at 63 in Indy, 62 in Bloomington, but 50s to the north in Prue, as well as Lafayette. We'll go into some other hometowns for you here in northern locations. Logansport, you're down to 57 degrees, and Anderson, you're at 57 as well. So it's a great start to our day, nice and comfortable. Maybe a couple of you want the light jacket this morning, but you'll be able to shed that pretty quickly. Just some high, thin clouds out there. Those will burn off very quickly once the sun comes up. So it's a sun-filled morning for us as temperatures climb out of the 60s into the upper 70s by the noon hour. And then as we transition into the afternoon hours, we're looking at high temperatures that'll be topping off, Lauren, in the low 80s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now from our INDOT traffic camera on the northwest side of town, I-465 and West 86th Street. Traffic there is moving along up to speed northbound and southbound. No crashes or delays here to slow you down. So let's take a look at our map. We do have a little bit of a slowdown right now as you're heading north of 116th Street there, heading northbound to Campus Parkway. So just a heads up to that this morning. And we also have this I-70 closure in both directions. The detour route still traveling up to speed at this hour. But now to breaking news we've been following from overnight. A woman in the hospital and police are looking for a suspect after a shooting on the far northeast side. This all happened around 1:30 this morning in a neighborhood at East 33rd Street and Midhofer Road. We're told a couple were flagged down by someone they knew who told them that a woman had been shot several times. Police say that she was taken to Eskenazi Hospital for treatment. Witnesses told the officers the suspect was last seen driving northbound on Midhofer.
It's been a staple in our lives.
RTV6 is getting answers for some disappointed Hamilton County families and Carmel businesses that are closing. Mark Pine's Chinagate opened its doors for the final time Wednesday. The owner of the restaurant, Ming Wang, says business has been going down ever since the removal of a nearby exit off US 31 onto 126th Street. Several other businesses in the Walking Mall have also recently closed their doors. Wang told RTV6 he won't be able to open a new location.
I'm local and, I'm not big corporation where somebody can move me. So I don't think I have anything left to move. I want to say goodbye to all my loyal, regular customer. I truly, deep down from my heart, I want to thank everybody for supporting us.
We reached out to the city of Carmel for reaction to the latest closing, but we have yet to hear back. Mr. Wang still has time left on his lease and says he is trying to negotiate an early termination with his landlord.
At 5:33, the Muncie police chief tells Call 6 Investigates the department is taking steps to prevent future violations. That's because a state police review ruled that officers misused equipment. State police say that Muncie officers used their computers to look up information about a man who's been critical of city government. The chief sent an internal memo to all the officers reminding them of appropriate use of law enforcement record system known as IDAX.
I think in these couple situations, they were trying to get information on someone that in that situation they shouldn't have been. There was no crime involved. They weren't investigating a crime, and these people have the right to not have this done to them. We certainly realize that we were wrong, and we think we've fixed this issue and should never happen again.
The notice of violation is among the lowest reprimands a police department can receive in this situation. State police say that they had 2 violations last year, and they say that these kinds of incidents are not common.
We're learning more about a program that will help people in food deserts get to grocery stores. This week, we told you the Lyft Grocery Access Program will take people to and from 6 supermarkets for only $2. Since then, we've learned families can sign up by downloading the Lyft app and putting in their address to verify they live within eligible boundaries. The program will then pop up as an option. We spoke to neighbors who are excited about the service.
I think it was real nice. It was $2. Who can't beat that? Can't beat that at all.
Just a lot of people in here that really don't walk like I do, that's, on disability, and that would help them out a lot.
The program has faced criticism, however, from some community activists. They argue the city should do more to keep and attract grocery stores in the neighborhood.
Monopoly, Sorry, Candyland, those are some of the games that kids grew up playing, but this week is a whole different ball game.
Pretty Princess?
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that.
With thousands of unique tabletop games, gamers are descending upon Indy to buy and play them at Gen Con. And our Aaron Lish is live at the Indiana Convention Center getting us ready for the 4-day spectacle. Aaron, this convention is about as big as they get, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. They have over 19,000 different events here. We have Stacia Kirby here with us from Gen Con. All right, 19,000 different events, over 500 different exhibitors. Tell us a little bit about those and what's new this year.
Well, we have over 500 exhibitors, like we said. We are all full of the exhibit hall, and we also have events and exhibitors down in Lucas Oil Field as well. So we are all over downtown Indy. In the exhibit hall, it's wonderful too, because not just exhibitors that have games. We introduced over 600 games last year here, so you got to expect at least that this year. Those are new games. But we also have Authors Alley, we have art, we have things that you use to play games. So there's just all sorts of stuff in the hall.
There's such a variety here. How do people come to this? I know it starts at 10 today. Tell us a little bit about badges and things of that nature.
Yes. So we have already sold out of our 4-day badges, but we do have day badges available for Friday, actually today, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday still, because Saturday also sold out. So, but you can come on down here and pick up a badge, buy one, and get into the exhibit hall.
All right, well, we're going to have a little bit more in the next half hour. We're here in Card Hollow. What does this mean? Well, we will find out in the next half hour. Back to you guys in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. The Indiana State Fair kicks off tomorrow. And don't forget, opening day is also RTV6 Day at the Fair. Our team will be live at the fairgrounds throughout the day, bringing you live coverage and stories about the fair. From llamas to bees to corn farmers, we'll show you some of the unsung heroes of the heartland. And Todd, we are so excited to be out there tomorrow because the weather is going to be so great.
It is. You know, a lot of times you think of the State Fair, you just think of the heat, the humidity. You're always trying to find those fans and misters in the shade. Today and tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at fairly low humidity, especially today and tomorrow. So our humidity scale today is in the comfortable range, so you don't have to worry about feeling too uncomfortable today. As we get towards Saturday and Sunday, maybe we kind of push this towards the getting sticky category, but we don't get into that oppressive humidity as we were a couple weekends ago. So that is great news, not only for the State Fair, but any outdoor plans you may have this weekend if you're camping, boating, and such. So pool forecast today, 77 degrees. It's going to be great by the noon hour, 83 by 4 p.m. with mostly sunny skies, a little bit of a cool breeze as well. But even with that cool breeze and the lack of humidity, you can still get a sunburn very, very quickly. That UV index is very high here throughout the day today.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Coming up next here in Good Morning Indiana, stunning audio from one of the most admired Americans of the 20th century. It's all part of a phone call that was deliberately hidden from the public for decades.
And a tarp almost got away from them. Just ahead, a baseball grounds crew getting some badly needed help from the guys who were just there to play the game. That's next.
Evans Generation, powered by plants.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 5:24 and we do have some construction in the Fishers area on I-69. You can see some flashing lights there on your screen. A heads up as you're driving northbound on I-69 north of 116th Street up towards Campus Parkway. We do have some slowdowns at this early hour, but overall everything here, especially southbound, is moving along just fine. We'll keep an eye on this spot and keep you updated throughout the morning. Well, it's a stunning revelation about one of the most well-respected presidents in U.S. history. The National Archives released a recorded phone call between Ronald Reagan and then President Richard Nixon. The year was 1971. Reagan was the governor of California at the time, and he was recorded by Nixon making some racist comments about the delegates to the United Nations from African countries.
Last night, I tell you, to watch that thing on television as I did. Yeah. To see those monkeys from those African countries. Damn, they're still uncomfortable wearing shoes. Well, and then the tail wags the dog there, doesn't it? Yeah. The tail wags the dog.
Reagan was referring to the diplomats from African countries who had voted to have the UN formally recognize China, which Reagan and Nixon opposed at the time. The Nixon Presidential Library has this conversation for decades, but it says that it previously withheld this part of the recording to protect Reagan's privacy.
Before this week's second Democratic presidential debate, frontrunner Joe Biden jokingly told Senator Kamala Harris, "Go easy on me, kid." Instead, the top two candidates at the second night of the debate took aim at each other. And as ABC's Trevor Alt tells us, the candidates farther back in the polls tried desperately to break through.
Night 2 of the Detroit Democratic debates featuring all the policy of night 1 with a lot more personal political brawling mixed in. Senator Kamala Harris returning to her attacks from the first debate early on.
The vice president has still failed to acknowledge that it was wrong to take the position that he took at that time.
But this time, Biden punching back and later criticizing the senator for changes to her health care plan.
You can't beat President Trump with double talk.
Other candidates eager to jump into the crossfire. Senator Cory Booker taking aim at the former vice president over criminal justice reform.
Since the 1970s, every major crime bill, major and minor, has had his name on it.
You had a police department you went out and you hired Rudy Giuliani's guy. You engaged in stop and frisk.
Mr. Vice President, there's a saying in my community, you're dipping into the Kool-Aid and you don't even know the flavor.
Over the same topic, Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard calling out Kamala Harris for her record as a prosecutor.
Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not.
Candidates also sparring over immigration. Biden defending the policies of the Obama administration. Julian Castro calling him out.
It looks like one of us has learned the lessons of the past
and one of us hasn't. What we need are politicians that actually
up.
have some guts on this issue.
I have guts enough to say his plan doesn't make sense.
These Detroit debates will likely be the last time on the stage for many of these presidential candidates. The next Democratic debates are in September in Houston, and that will likely only have half the candidates who qualify. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Detroit.
It's 5:45. Today, President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence are scheduled to visit the Midwest. A campaign rally for Trump is scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight at U.S. Bank Arena in Cincinnati. According to his campaign, this will be the 4th rally in Cincinnati since President Trump first started his race for the White House in 2015.
How windy was it in Philadelphia yesterday? Well, check this out. High winds from an incoming storm tried to take out the tarp as the grounds crew at Citizens Bank Park were trying to spread it over the infield. That's when members of the Philadelphia Phillies and their opponents last night, the San Francisco Giants, came to the rescue. That even included Giants relief pitcher Sam Dyson just minutes before he found out he'd been traded to the Minnesota Twins. Within seconds, the players helped the grounds crew save the day and the tarp. Well, nothing quite like that happening here at home today, Todd. Things have been quiet and sunny.
Yeah, it's going to be another great day for us here. In fact, we have no storms in our forecast probably until Wednesday of next week. So it's a very dry forecast, unfortunately. So you'll probably have to water your plants and water your lawns here to keep them green here, as we'll deal with sunshine and at least low humidity throughout the day today. And it's really another great day. So that's the thing. It's not, we're not going to be dealing with rain in the coming days, but the trade-off is we have a pretty nice weather pattern, especially for the weekend, with dry conditions for you able to get out and about. So outside right now, here is the view as we look off towards the northwest. The temperature sits at 63 degrees. The dew point right now is in the mid to upper 50s across the area with a north wind. So when the dew point's in the 50s, it's very comfortable. Low 60s, it's not bad. It's not until you start getting to around 65 to 70 degrees that things start to get uncomfortable. So you do notice our dew point will slowly start to climb as the day and eventually the evening goes on. So you will notice the humidity come up a smidge, but still we're in that comfortable territory. So we're not going to be dealing with that oppressive humidity, which is certainly good news. So it's 53 right now in Crawfordsville. You're a cool spot. 57 in Greencastle and Lafayette. More 50s to the north, low 60s to the east in Richmond. 62 degrees as you work your way down to the south right now in Bloomington, with skies that are mainly clear. There's just a little bit of high, thin cloud cover drifting south of Indianapolis right now, but that will not cause any issues whatsoever in our forecast for this morning. The sun, once it comes up, will burn that off. Some bigger storms near Kansas City. They stay off to our west. There is a very small chance, though, of a shower or two this afternoon flaring up in far eastern Indiana. So Richmond down towards Greensburg, I would say, and points to the east. So it's just a very sliver of Indiana that will have the potential for a few showers that will move through Ohio to drift back off towards the west and maybe make its way into, again, Richmond, Brookville, down towards the Cincinnati area. And that is just about it. Otherwise, everybody else enjoys mostly sunny skies this morning, going to partly cloudy skies today, and certainly don't bank on any rainfall in the forecast. Just have to point out that there is the potential of a stray shower there to the east. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies today, near 80 by the noon hour, low 80s by 6 p.m. And then this evening, we're in great shape. One of the good shows all summer long on Thursdays, animals and all that jazz at the Indianapolis Zoo. Temperatures will be in the low 80s, falling into the 70s throughout the evening hours, so very comfortable. And then overnight tonight, we're talking 50s and 60s again. Doesn't get much better than that. And then for the fair tomorrow, opening day, temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s. Very similar to today, not too humid. It comes up a bit. You'll notice it. But all in all, a very pleasant day. And then Saturday and Sunday, mostly sunny with high temperatures in the upper 80s.
All right, Todd, thanks. Let's take a look right now at traffic for your morning drive on this Thursday. Here's a look at our map where we are monitoring a few delays here along Keystone Avenue in the Carmel area. Just use caution through construction there. I-70 a closure here. Just a reminder, you'll need to take 465 on the south side to 65 if that's part of your commute. And then all the way down to the south, Edinburgh, we do have some delays northbound I-65 heading towards US 31 in that area. So just use caution and give yourself a little bit of extra time if that is part of your commute. Let's take a look, though, to the dogleg on the northwest side, I-465 and I-865, where traffic is picking up this morning. No crashes right now around the metro area. Great news if you're heading out the door at this time.
The Trending 6 is next on Good Morning Indiana, and we'll take you to the woods of Kentucky, where at least some of the locals are saying that a long sought-after mythical creature might be roaming. What's next?
And going on now at Ashley Home Store.
Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
These are some of the stories that everyone's sharing online today that you'll want to know about.
TV host Mario Lopez has apologized for comments made recently during a podcast appearance hosted by conservative personality Candace Owens. Lopez says said it is dangerous for parents to allow their children to pick their gender identities at young ages. Lopez apologized, saying his comments were ignorant and insensitive, and he has always supported the LGBTQ community.
Thousands of planets that could possibly sustain life have been discovered over the years, but this one is one of the closest to Earth. NASA's TESS orbiting telescope found a planet that's just 31 light years away. It's located in the Hydra constellation, close to a star that's similar to our sun. NASA will conduct more research to see if the planet's atmosphere is thick enough to possibly support life.
It was a rough day on the mound for Boston Red Sox pitcher Rich Porcello. Boom! That's how rough it was. Porcello had to be taken out of the game against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's when he took out his frustration on 2 TV monitors in the Red Sox dugout. Good thing is Porcello is making $21 million this season because he'll probably have to replace those monitors.
That's for sure. Well, a Cardinals pitcher appears to have cheated last night and got away with it. Miles Mikolas was running out a ground ball, and he was safe on what appeared to be a throwing error. But watch the replay closely. As Mikolas getting close to the bag, he appears to reach down and swipe the arm of Cubs second baseman David Bote, who was covering first. The umpires didn't see it, despite the complaints by the Cubs, and in the end, it didn't matter as the Cubs won the game 2-0.
Go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. Thank you very much.
If you watched last night's Democratic debate and wondered what Joe Biden was talking about, well, you weren't alone. What he meant to say was that people should text the word Joe to that number to help his campaign. Well, when people went to joe30330.com on the web, they got this page. It was called Josh for America. We don't know who Josh is, but a link on the page directs people to donate to the campaign of another Democrat, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Interesting.
Can you understand me? Are you a man? Well, it never hurts to ask.
Well, it didn't happen like that at a national park in Kentucky over the weekend. A couple who are camping at Mammoth Cave National Park say that they were warned about another man that this was Bigfoot country. He told the couple that if they heard him fire a gunshot, they should run. Moments later, the couple said they heard the man shout, "There it is," and fired a shot. Well, they packed up their tent and hiked back to their car. The national park says it is investigating. Oh my goodness.
Maybe it sounds like this man had indulged in some illegal substances, possibly.
Or just wanted the campground to himself.
Yeah. Right. That's one way to do it. I'd be out of there real quick.
Like, okay, kind of weird. All right, Todd, a great weather, though, if people are heading out, maybe camping this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, state parks are always packed this time of year here all across central Indiana, and this weekend you'll have great weather with sunshine and dry conditions and warm temperatures. 62 right now in Indy, 58 in Muncie, Zionsville at 55. The sky just starting to brighten a little bit. Today's going to be a beautiful day for us. A high temperature of 83 degrees. That is very seasonable for this time of year. Skies will be mostly sunny, light winds and low humidity. Get out there and enjoy if you can. And then the nice weather will continue as we work our way into the weekend. As we mentioned, Saturday and Sunday, plenty of sunshine and temperatures in the upper 80s. The time now is 5:56. Stay with Good Morning Indiana. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.